So you haven't been in agriculture for almost 40 years.
Since 1988.
At this point in your life, what do you take away? What do you carry with you from those experiences, either as a migrant or working at Twin Gardens? What do you carry from those experiences?
I hated it when I was living that kind of life, but now it's the best years of my life because my family was with me. We were all together. We were all working in unison, and I think we were more close then than we are now as adults, because now we all have our own lives. We all have our own issues, and that's life. Everybody knows that. But that was not the way we were raised. My father always tried to keep us together. So every time I would travel to Texas, everybody got together. Now that I've been going there, even though we cannot all come together at once, I make it a habit to go visit every single one, including my friends. I get them together, we go and have coffee, we go to the movies, we go have lunch, but out of the 5 days that I go and spend in Texas, I make sure I'm seeing somebody every single day. That's something my parents instilled in us, or at least my father. So I guess what I want to say is, from my migrant years, the fact is that it doesn't matter where I come from, is who I've adapted to be and how I maintain my roots still within me. Because my father and my mother were very hardworking people. I have learned to do that, and I have moved from being a farm worker to being a factory worker, to being a secretary, to being an assistant for a law firm, to being a social worker, so I've moved up the ladder, and I have been able to have 2 homes, not just one. Actually, now I own another one. But, it's just not to forget that who you were doesn't define who you have to be or have to be stuck being, because you can always have that dream and make it come true. My parents were only able to afford to work in the kind of work that they had. It wasn't a bad, option, but it made me work hard at what I wanted, and it made me hold on to the dream that I wanted something better, even more stronger. So my father's roots and my mother's roots are where are still instilled me as a migrant farmer. Do I want that life again? No. Would I go back to it again if I had to? Yes, because it's very honorable work. There's nothing wrong with starting in the bottom and going up. You should never be ashamed of who you were, and because that always leads you to where you're at now. You're successful because of the things that life taught you. And I know my father taught us how to be hard workers and to appreciate every single cent that we earned with the sweat of our foreheads. There was a lot of cold nights, a lot of days that we were wet working in the field because we worked in the rain. If it rained a lot, we'd stop. But a lot of times when we were cutting La Spiga, which is the sugar cane, the little top piece, I can't think of the English word for it, but we would cut it, there were snakes underneath the ground that were sleeping, and they were full of frogs because there was a lot of frogs, because again, there's dampness underneath the caña or the sugar cane. And there were big freaking snakes down there that you would just see them running around. Nobody ever got bitten except for our dog. Our dog got bitten for not leaving one alone. But he learned his lesson. He did live. He didn't die. But those kind of things, I think, taught us to be more, at least me, observant about my surroundings, where I'm at, and where I want to be, and where I see myself getting to in life because of all the things that we experience.